Hey everybody. Hey, how's everybody today? Or tonight rather. How's everybody? Y'all know um okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, she said she don't know how to work the streaming service, so let's see. Y'all, what we're doing right now, just be patient with us, man. We're gonna try to get some people in. My guest. Let me see. Ladale, how's it going, man?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Now we gonna try to get Amber in, man. She's having issues with the streaming service. So um how's everybody doing tonight?
Sir, really good. We got on Nikki on here too.
Not yet. They coming in. They coming in.
Mic check 1 2.
Now I see that the Yams Amber is on, but she's having issues with her mic and her camera. So something happened then. Let me see. Let me see. What's going on? Amos, he said, what's the topic, man? We black culture. That's the topic.
Black culture in the building.
That's the topic. We gotta get yams in. Let me see.
Matter of fact, let me turn my
Okay.
camera.
She was saying her camera permission denied. Camera permission denied. Um camera permission denied.
She probably has to go to her Wi-Fi. Well, not her Wi-Fi settings, but go to her browser settings and just go to her browser settings so to allow her to be able to come in. That's what I had to do. I'm eating gummy bears on live.
Yeah. Choose camera. So did it give you issues too when you first started Liddell, like which camera you were gonna use and all that?
Yeah, I'm on my phone camera, so
Okay. Okay.
clearer picture, clears up the skin, makes it smooth.
Yeah, you know what? I might have to ask her to do that. If she can use her camera phone. Her phone camera rather. Camera. Yeah, her phone. Yeah. But either way, man, we go get started. But I really want her in, man. I hate that, man. I got with her last minute.
Look, we get Miss Afro on here. We got Black History already
Oh
happening.
man, that's what I want, man.
Get the shadows
You
out.
you're actually using your phone, Liddell?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay, so she said she don't know what to do. I'm asking, do you think it'll work? Actually, do you think it'll work on her phone? Because we got to get Amber on here, man. We've got to. We've got to. So y'all be patient. Please be patient. We go get her in. Um, Amos said he can hear. Hey, Deara. Hey, Laura. Amos, you said you can hear me just a little static.
What's up, Mr. Amos?
We got to help Alpha, man. We got to get her on, man. Okay, she said, go ahead and start the show. You'll figure it out. Okay.
It's Afro, the queen of this type of stuff too.
Man. Man. We got to help her get on, man. Emma said he's tired of this crazy weather. Yeah.
I know.
When I think it's supposed to stop like what, tomorrow? That's the last of it.
Look, I miss being able to see my kids in the afternoon.
Yeah, because y'all been out of school basically since Monday.
2 days now.
Yeah. De'Ara, how's it sounding on your end? Like when I replay it. De'Ara, how's it sounding on your end? Like when I replay it. It's coming clear. I don't want that static there, but not that I'm not concerned, Amos, about the static, but I got to get Anfra on here, man. I got to. Adjust your mic volume on your page speaker. It's too loud. Is that better? Let me know if that's better, Amos, because I may have the mic too close or something. Or like you said, I turned the volume down on my computer. Y'all, look, I'm just giving Anfra time to get in, man, because today I was, just getting in my zone, getting prepared for tonight. And man, I knew Liddell and Nikki was gonna be on here, but man, she just popped up strong in my spirit, man. I'm like, gotta get Anfra on here, man. It's no coincidence, Liddell. This is the first day of Black History Month, man. And man, I'm excited, Doc.
Oh yeah. And look, you got the African colors up in the background, making it,
man. Yeah.
Pop out.
Yeah. He said better, sir. Much more clear. Perfect now. Cool. Liddell, can you hear me fine?
Yes, sir. I can hear you really good.
Awesome. All right. She said, "Star, without her, man, I really don't want to." She just don't know how to. She said she don't know how to work the software, and I should have got with her earlier. Nigga said she's backstage.
Making a superstar appearance.
Oh man, I don't see Nikki though. Let me see. Where is Nikki? Now you know what, Liddell. It must go be a good show tonight, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I was running into all kind of stuff, man, just trying to get set up, and it's crazy because we were saying how we were early, man. Like, okay, we go, and man, I was trying to send y'all the link, man, and man, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. Let me see. And Nikki said she sent the pic and she said she's backstage. She's backstage, but I can't see, like I can't even see her. I don't know what's going on, man. Man, we got to get her in, man. And where's I don't see Nikki anywhere, man. I hear her. It's crazy, man. What's going on, Corey? Corey Whitsett.
Corey Whitsett in the building.
Yeah.
I love old Corey Whitsett. talented brother.
Very.
I think brother Corey working on a new play or something to get ready to come out.
Yeah. I think he said he had to postpone it for a second. But man, why is this happening? But look, we got to get Anfrey in there some kind of way, man. Love you too, man. She's lost. Okay, Liddell, can you walk her through it? Do you think you can walk her through that?
Miss Anfrey or Nikki?
Anfrey. We go get Nikki in, man. I don't know why Nikki's not showing up, but Anfrey says she's lost, man. So we've got to get her on here, man.
Can she see us on her?
It won't let her it won't access her camera. She can see us. She says she can see us.
So Miss Anfrey, just go to your browser and
access the camera. And I keep hearing Nikki chiming in, but it's not showing her either, man. But man, we gonna get this show going, man, with them. We're gonna get it going with them. But either way, y'all, listen. She has a speaker muted. I don't know. She said the software won't allow her to access the camera. It's Nikki, man. We got to get this going, man. She says she don't know how to access the browser, Liddell.
When you click on the link, just normally when you click on the link, you'll see it at the top, where you normally type in website codes. Type in your website HTTPS. Soon as you click on the link, the Studio Restream link, just look at your browser and tap the browser, and you should see it. It'll say allow or block, and just click on allow. Hopefully that helps.
There's Nikki.
Nikki in the building. There she is. And you're muted.
Oh man, I don't know what's going on, man, but we gonna get it. Nikki, can't hear you. We don't know what's going on, y'all. This man, I'm telling you.
It's too much black power on here tonight.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. That's what it is. By the way, how's everybody been doing? How is everybody, man? Amos, I see you're good. Corey, I don't know if they've dropped off. Amos says the bandwidth.
The bandwidth.
Yeah. Y'all, in wake of what's been going on in Memphis, which seems like it's been a lot, man. With the Tyree Nichols incident, I'm not gonna hit on that. Me personally, I'm not gonna stop anybody else. But I know Anfrey is going to hit on that, I believe, tomorrow. So I'm leaving that with her. Been good recovering from being sick. Okay. So, but what we want to do, man, we want to recognize who we are, man. And yeah, Nikki said kicked her out. I don't get what's going on. I wish I understood, because I want Anfrey and Nikki on here. But y'all listen, man, I don't know how y'all feel about this. But I heard, like Liddell say, he heard a comedian say, I think I know who he's talking about. That they give us the shortest month of the year while it's cold to celebrate Black history. I know it was a comedian that said that, man, but look, in these 47 and a half years of living, man, I never thought about it like that. But it's up to us, man, to celebrate who we are always.
Yeah.
Liddell, I know there were times, man, when we do the podcast, I'm always saying, hey, we're not trying to offend and we're not racist. And sometimes I get tired of saying that. I think people should know that by now. And I think it's an issue, man, if any other, what we call ethnicity or any other race of people have an issue with a black man or black woman or a black person loving themselves, I think something is really racist and wrong with that in itself. Shouldn't have
Yeah.
to keep explaining ourselves. If you know us personally, we don't go that route. But we're not going to be ashamed of who we are either. So with that
Yeah.
being said, there's been a lot of questions around our culture. One is, I think Afro Boyd hit on it a week or two ago. Like, why do we hate each other so much? Why do
Yeah.
we not just each other, but why do we hate our own skin?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I was looking at some stuff, man. I don't know if people are familiar with this, but it has been said and somewhat proven. I ain't gonna say somewhat. According to the experts, our organs, the emperor, that's Nikki. Nikki,
And see you, but can't hear you.
I don't know what's going on, man. I wish I was a techie, man.
Hey, Nikki, are you on your computer or are you on your phone? You on your phone? You probably have to hit the little mic button and unmute it because it just seems like you're muted.
Man, this is crazy, man.
So, Nikki, do you have some earphones plugged in or something?
What's up, Ron?
Yeah, earbuds. Okay, unplug your earbuds and just use your microphone from your camera.
What's going on, man? But y'all, did she say something?
Say, hold on a second. There go Yams.
Yeah,
Why?
she's on, but she just is not allowing her mic to be accessed. But either way, man, I hate that, man. But either way, y'all.
They'll figure it out. I got faith in
Yeah.
y'all. In Jesus' name.
But either way, man, look, she did tell us to go ahead and go on. I need her on here, man. But either way, I was looking at some stuff today, Liddell, before I logged in, and it was talking about how vital how much more rich our organs are, man, of any other race. So looking at some things, and I hate to dive in. I didn't want to dive in here without them, but I got to go here, man. Some things that people are scared, literally scared to talk about because they fear the government. They fear for their lives. So it's only a select few people that will go into this, what I'm about to talk about. But organ harvesting, y'all, there's been a lot of us.
Yeah.
A lot of us. Okay. Man, you gotta love Amber, man. She just messaged me. She said the show must go on. Man, I appreciate that. I want you on here, Amber. I do. So Nikki said, can I just add them to the live? So
she was just saying, just go Facebook Live and just add us in.
Yeah, can you do that, Liddell? Are you live? Are you able to do that?
I'm on the studio thing, so I don't know how to.
Okay. She said I did it 2 weeks ago. She said she wasn't on mute. Ah, man. Y'all, I don't know what's going on with this, man. But she said she would just comment, can't get software to work. Okay. Next week we go work on it early. We gonna get on it early. I don't know what's going on, man, but either way, but you know, I really want to talk to just my people tonight, man. I mean, if anybody else want to chime in, fine. Um, Man, we're powerful people, man. If you look at the stuff that's been going on, the deal, every time something goes down, like one of us get killed by the hands of the police, white or black, man, do you see how strong we band together, man?
Yeah.
And we are so powerful to the point to whereas the first thing, and I noticed, I know it's old saying, but every time, man, the first thing that they say, please, y'all, protest peacefully. Do not riot. Do not come together. Don't do, man. We can't have a Black Wall Street. I'm not saying we can't have one, but when we did back in the day, that got bombed, and
Yep.
people just don't understand, man. Even back to the slavery days when we had to talk in code, man, because they didn't want us to learn to read and learn to communicate with each other. And man, they said, can she communicate without phone video? Um, Not sure. She said the software is not working for her, Amos, at all. I don't think she can. She hit the link and she's able to log in, but it's not recognizing her camera. And with Nikki, it's not recognizing her her microphone. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. But if we have to do this same thing next week, I'm bringing Alpha on, man, and we go get Nikki on. So don't worry about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I appreciate it, Amos. I appreciate it. You just trying to help out, man. So hey, I appreciate your help, Doc. But I'm not a techie. Hey, this is the first night, as a matter of fact, Amos. I just figured out this week. If you notice, when I wave my hands, you don't see that lag, that green lag, like it's a green tail that's following me. Man, I just learned how to get rid of that like 2 or 3 days ago, man. So I'm really not a techie. I know how to do the background and stuff like that, man. But you know, but man, man, you just gotta love Amber, man. Her and Nikki, man, they trying to get on, man. Um, but either way, y'all, either way, I do. I want us, because I am a speaker. I want us to realize how powerful we are. I want you to realize who you are. I spoke last year, not a year ago, but last year. Now I can't get into my email, Nick. I don't know. I don't because I was logged off because somebody had to use my computer, but they didn't mean to. They had to. And I can't get into it. But I'm gonna change my password. I'm gonna change my password. And we gonna do it that way. But either way, Liddell,
Yes, sir.
Liddell, man. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna hand it to you for a second because I'm gonna help Nikki, and I still gotta try to help Alpha, man. But last year, sometime in 2022, man, I was speaking about um who we are and how our identity has been taken. I
Yeah.
remember asking one of my uncles, man, he's a pastor here in Memphis, and I said, hey man, I don't uncle, I was like, I don't know what it is, why we're hated so much, man. And before he even said anything, I said, something is telling me. Now, mind you, this was probably 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. I said, something is telling me, man, we were once a powerful people, man. He said,
Mm.
nephew, that's it. That's it. What you see, what we consider the white man doing, he said that was us. We
Yeah.
had control, we had the wealth, we had the knowledge. So when that was stripped from us, and you know, you bring us to a land you can't read, you can't write, you're not allowed to do that stuff. Now you got uneducated illiteracy that has come in,
Yeah.
and now they train us, man. Look here, you in the house,
Yeah.
you are somewhat of an overseer, or your mom and them outside. And if you see something go wrong, you come let me know. We go beat them. You gonna be the good boy, the good guy. So a lot of this stuff is going on now, even on jobs, man. To whereas they got a supervisor position open. I know what I'm gonna do to get that. If I have to step on my brother's neck to get, and it's y'all, we don't understand, man. Right now on the job that I'm on right now, there's a female on the job. I told my wife this too. If they were to ask me, who do you think should be the next supervisor? I would say her. I Because of her knowledge, because of her patience, because of her leadership. I'm not saying I don't have that, but man, she's been there. It's not even about seniority, man, but it's just about doing the right thing, man. Why step over somebody, man? Me and my wife ain't suffering. We ain't hurting out here. It's just we don't understand how powerful
Yeah.
we are as a unit, Ladell. But let me help
Yep.
Nikki get on. But what are your thoughts on Black history, man, and Black culture, who we are, Ladell, how we should band together, man.
You know what? Some of the strength, and excited to have listeners on here that are actually paying attention to what we're saying, because when you start thinking about the strength, of our race of people, I was reading this scripture, and I love what Brother Clint was talking about how about our identity, and the power is on the inside of us. When you read the Bible, there's a scripture in the Bible, and it talks about how the children of Israel, how the Assyrians had took them captive, and when they took them captive, some of the they took their instruments, and they made fun of them. They said, "Look, why don't y'all sing some of them songs that y'all used to sing over there in Zion?" And the Bible
Wow.
talks about how these people were so downtrodden and so sad that they took their instruments and hung them up on the willow tree, the weeping willow tree. And just think about their significance. They were so depressed that the very instruments that they used to use back in the days of Zion, when they were singing about praises and having a good time, their music, they hung them up on a willow tree. And then
Wow.
when the Babylonians told them, said, go ahead and sing some of them songs, they said, how can we sing when we're in a strange land? How can we sing when we're in a strange land?
Wow.
So what's happened is that our identity has been snatched away from us. The same thing that happened in slavery when we were captured and brought over here to the United States of America. They took our drums. They took our culture. They eliminated our names, gave us slave owners' last names. And right now, our last names from what we have gained here in the United States are really not the last names of our forefathers. So our identity is taken. They take our drums, and you start seeing this whole replay happen from the Bible times, that we're depressed, we're oppressed. We have that oppression in our genes that's suppressing all the greatness that's on the inside of us, because we don't know. We don't even know how powerful we are. That over there in Egypt, when you stop and think about it, how still today scientists are trying to figure out how our ancestors built pyramids. How we were able to, even when you start thinking about how they preserve bodies. Brother Clint, I remember one time, it was they brought the Ramses the Great exhibition over here to Memphis. So Ramses the Great, this was the same Ramses the Great that was chasing Moses in the Bible. I did the research, and I'm standing there because I've been brought up with the Bible my whole life. This man's, they had his body, his mummified body, but it was in this case that is sealed him in the case. And still to this day, you can still see some of his skin. Now, look at how long ago that was, but think about how smart our ancestors were to even the embalming that they put their body in, which was so powerful. To his body was still preserved. Our bodies here in America, I'm talking, we're disintegrating, and all this stuff is happening to us, and you can't pull a corpse out of the ground that was as preserved as Ramses the Great body. So you think about it, we had healing herbs, we had all these different things, because we just talked about the great that we lost, Dr. Champion, who had accessed his gene from his ancestors in his DNA, to the point that this man had all types of relics in Champion's pharmacy. The same thing with Dr. Sebi. And so as African Americans, we are so powerful, and we're feared, and to the point that it's been structured for other people to fear us, and they fear us so much that it creates division, it creates confusion, it creates strife, it creates envy, because they don't want us to unlock the DNA gene of greatness that's on the inside of us. And so that's how powerful we are, to the point that, going back to the Babylonian times, that our ancestors, the children of Egypt, they took them and told them, hang your instruments up, sing. They made fun of them, so they had to hang their instruments up because they were so depressed and stressed. And so today's time, They're
Wow.
silencing our voices. They're
Wow.
silencing strength. You think about it, I was in the store. I'm gonna say this last thing because you get
No,
me
no,
excited.
go ahead, man. You free. Talk,
I,
man.
I was you know, in the store, and this happens now. Viewers out, the ones that are listening and paying attention, think about you can have a white kid in a store acting a fool, plum acting a fool, running around yelling and all this type of stuff, and people just look, oh, that's so cute, haha. But when a black kid does it, you like that bad so and so. Parents need, they doing the same thing that the white counterpart or the Asian counterpart is
Wow.
doing, but
Wow.
that black child is ridiculed, is being bad, and you get angry and you get upset. Why? Because it is inbred on the inside of us that black people need to be subdued some type of way. Even our voices. When you think about a white person cursing versus a black person cursing, you're like, man, they can say the same exact things, but it's something, the frequency inside of a black person's voice that shakes something on the inside of you. So that's the
Yes.
reason why they're trying to silence our voices, because it's something in our frequency that irritates the enemy. I'm gonna leave that alone, bro. I'm gonna leave it
Oh
alone.
man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nikki,
I'm
can
gonna
you
leave
can
it alone.
you say something? Are you here with us?
Can y'all hear me?
I can
I
hear
can
you. We got it. We can hear you. Yeah, I know it's been a headache, and I don't know what's going on. But we have got to get Amber in there. I don't know. If I have to come back with this same background, with this same shirt on, Ladell, and I got plenty of these Clint t-shirts, with this same microphone, I'm getting Amber board on here. Y'all got to see her face. I just can't leave it at now. She knows she's welcome to chime in as far as chatting, but I don't just want to leave Amber at no chat, man. We need Amber on here, man, with
Did you
us.
text her and
You
see
feel
what
me?
was going on with her? What did it say?
She's not familiar with the software, so it's not recognizing her camera. But
Oh,
y'all, we listen, y'all. I don't know what's all in Amber board because she won't let me call her Miss Amber. She got on me about that. So um look, Amos said it's a curse, Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, towards his
yeah,
wife of his bosom.
yep.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Yes, hey,
it's a
but you
reason
know
we're
what though?
here.
Huh?
It's a reason we're on here. I couldn't get in. I'm gonna give you this disclaimer right now.
No, go ahead.
My bar stools are being used for something else, so I'm sitting on a real rickety desk. So if you see me like tip to the side and fall, it's okay. Keep talking. Um, I bumped my head trying to run over here and get here. My chandelier still doing this.
Wow.
It's okay. I don't know
God is
Listen,
what.
and I didn't even realize because my wife had to use my laptop, which is fine. I mean, it's just that I didn't even think to log myself back in to my email because she had to use her email. So Yahoo was like, okay, which one you gonna use? So
Mhm.
it was just something minor, and but it's always something, man. Like I should have looked at that first. So it's not blaming my wife or any of that, but it's like whenever we got something powerful to talk about, it's
yep.
always all kind of distractions, man.
Mhm.
Always all kind of distractions, man. But y'all, I gotta go here. I went here earlier, but I've got to go here because this is and maybe I'm going too far into it right now. We need to kind of ease our way. We got a whole month, and maybe I need to eat, but I just can't. This when I see how against each other we are
Yeah.
and how we don't like it, even how we try to change our skin, our hair, our eyes, and it's like, do y'all understand how you look?
Right.
And I'm saying in a respectful way. Do you understand God did not make any mistakes with you?
Mhm.
Do you
Absolutely.
understand that you're beautiful?
Mhm.
Like again, I'm not going where people think I'm going, but I'm saying to the point to where at one time I didn't like to look at me. I didn't want to be another race. I didn't want to be like I wasn't going to that extreme, but I was listening to what other people were saying about me, and it was
Mhm.
my own
Yep.
people. You're fat. You're retarded. You
Mhm.
you look disgusting. Stuff like I mean, it's the stuff that I've heard about me hurt me, man, when I was
Yep.
younger. But man, once I realized who I was, and oh my God, when I got some knowledge about the black man, Clint. Clint the black man. It was like, oh my
Mhm.
God. When I step outside of my address, and I won't call the numbers out to my house, but when I step outside, man, I'm a proud black dude. I'm
Yeah.
a proud black man, man. I know. Listen, we're so powerful, Liddell, too. We're targeted as soon as we lock the door coming out the house, and
Yeah.
we're so powerful to the point to where they will come in the house and get you and say, "Oh, I thought I had the wrong. I thought I was in my house for real." So you're a
Right.
trained policeman, and the furniture looks just like yours. The lock looked just the key fit the lock, so you had to come in and kill somebody. Man, we're just that powerful. And
Yep.
I got to go here, Nick and Liddell. Earlier, I was talking about how I was looking at how even our organs are superior from what they found. It's not a it's a big story, but it's not a big story because everybody don't know about it. So listen, y'all, I'm going out on a limb to say this. People are scared to say what I'm about to say, but I hope y'all ain't putting on your back of y'all license plates that y'all gonna be a donor. I hope not. Please don't do that. Please, ma'am, please,
Are you
sir.
referring to black people?
Please don't do that. Please don't. I don't know if y'all remember the story of the young black boy, high school dude, that they found dead in the gym. This was in another state. I can't remember where it was, but it wasn't long ago. It was probably like 2-3 years ago. But they found him hanging in the gym upside down with no organs.
Mm.
They cut all his organs out. So I'm telling y'all, organ harvesting is a big business that a
Yeah.
lot of people don't know about. And when they gave the number, they said it was like it was over 100,000 black people go missing every year.
Yeah.
You don't find them. You don't find them. So a guy had brought up a point, Dr. Umar Johnson. Some of y'all may know him, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let Nikki and Liddell speak. But he brought up a point. Why is it like I think he was in LA. He said right there in LA, you can adopt a black child right there in LA. But no, they want to go to South Africa or Africa, some part of Africa, and adopt a child. And it's a part of Africa that's real poor. And that's where they're getting them from. And he was like, man, it's so messed up because it's one of the poorest parts of the country, basically in the world, to whereas the government, they don't have the withal to or the technology to keep up with the child. So once they bring the child to the United States, man, 6 months into the system, they can't find them no more. They don't hear no more from the child
Wow.
or the people that adopted them. Why are they going all the way to Nigeria and these places getting and adopting little kids? I'm telling y'all, some of these
Wow.
little kids end up dead.
Mhm.
And again, right here, when you go to the mortuary after you die, man, you got to get permission to see that body first.
Mhm.
Wow.
Some of them bodies ain't got number newspaper in them, but see, they say that anyway. Well, that's something we got to do anyway. But I'm telling y'all, even our organs, they say, are superior. So
Wow.
when they ask, do you want to be an organ donor? No, I don't want to be an organ donor. And I ain't saying this to be funny, but if something were to happen to me, which is not, y'all already know it's a setup. So I got to say it, y'all. This is Clint Speak, so I ain't no sense in hiding it. Because if I hide knowledge, man, ain't no sense in me even being on here. But I'm telling y'all, when it comes to the government, when it comes to white people, when it comes to rich people, if you worth $50 million and you need a heart transplant, you go wait on somebody to die, or you go. Let me say this, y'all. Every drive-by shooting in the hood ain't us. That's how powerful we are. Even our organs are superior. Every drive-by shooting ain't us, y'all. So what am I saying? What is Clint talking about? Y'all, we don't need no help. We don't need to help out those that are already against us. At some point, let's have a challenge to where we band together. This Black History Month, but we need to do a Black Current Month too.
Wow.
Black history, y'all. Black history. Y'all know I was at one point I was going to do an invention or a couple of them.
Hey,
and
Chad.
I started doing research. Y'all, we got so much rich history, y'all. What's up, Chad? It's so many inventions, man, we ain't got credit for, man. that's been
Mhm.
stolen from us. Y'all, man, people don't realize how powerful we are. I'm telling you, when something go down, they already, before they even apologize to the family, they telling the black folk, don't please y'all, don't band together. Please don't, please don't get together and retaliate.
Mhm.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Please don't, y'all. But listen, y'all, we've had some great matriarchs, some great people to come before us, y'all, that have paved the way for us, man. And y'all, if y'all only knew your history, I promise you, your present and your future would not be looking like it is now. If we only knew who our forefathers was, man.
Yeah, you know what, brother Clint, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know if you ever been to Slave Haven,
I
but
have.
I recommend that everybody takes a trip to Slave Haven. We had, and I'm grateful. Sometimes people are like, well, why do you always bring up these celebrities? But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times when people come into Memphis, it's amazing how in tune to the city as far as what's going on and what they see and what's going and what they feel and what they sense in their city, because they come in with a virgin spirit to our city, so they haven't adapted yet to the atmosphere of the city. So when they come in, the things that they're picking up, they're so sensitive. So Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans, we're sitting there in Slave Haven, just taking this amazing exploration of what's going on there. There's a cellar inside of the Slave Haven house that you can go underneath the house where they would hide the slaves when they were trying to hunt people down right here in Memphis. And Mr. Townsend went down there in the cellar. We were sitting down, we were in there and kind of looking around, and Mr. Townsend got tears in his eyes, and he said, "You guys go ahead and go up. Let me sit here for a minute because I sense everything that was going on down here in this room.
Wow.
How the slaves were hiding and how they were getting those slaves moving them, because that was part of the Underground Railroad, here in Memphis." And so when I looked at Mr. Townsend and he sat there, he had a very spiritual moment in the city of Memphis, because Memphis literally is based off of Memphis, Egypt. And so there's a Memphis, Egypt, and there's a
Mhm.
Memphis, Tennessee. And so there's this whole culture thing, because and I know sometimes when I go live I talk about it, where you have Memphis building these pyramids, and you had the major sense of commerce, which was the Nile River in Memphis, Egypt. And our main sense is the largest river in the United States of America, the Mississippi River. We built the pyramids over here, and there's this whole parallel with what goes on. And the pyramids were literally tombs of dead kings. And so when you look at Memphis, Tennessee, we're known for the celebration of dead kings. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, Dr.
Martin
Martin
Luther King.
King.
Wow.
So
Wow.
when you think about it, we celebrate the dead. It's a whole lot of that that's actually happening. Even Dr. Martin Luther King and his greatness, but you think about it, we put more emphasis on his memorial, even though there's a holiday for his birthday, but we put a lot of emphasis. Look at how many people come to town on April the 4th, taking a visit to the Lorraine Motel where he was assassinated at. And so there's
Yeah.
a lot when you start thinking about the parallel that happens and the silencing of the black voice. Dr. Martin Luther King's voice was silenced here in the city of Memphis,
Wow.
Tennessee. And 55 years later, even when we talked about this before, you got Jesse Jackson, and I heard Al Sharpton did a great job with the eulogy of Tyree Nichols on today. But still, there has not arisen another African American leader with the power and ability to use their voice to command crowds to make change like Dr. Martin Luther King and
Wow.
Malcolm X. You have not seen another one in 55 years. So what's going on to the point that our black voices are being silenced to the point that they don't even have the power no more? But you can give 3-6 Mafia. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. That's
I don't want to go there. This Black History.
man, you free to talk, man. But you speaking, man. I ain't gonna
Black
stop you. You
History.
speaking, doc.
But we give the power of the voice to the wrong things, and that's what I look at. We give power to the wrong voices. When you do something positive, and you're consistent with it, and you think about it, Brother Clint, you mentioned something one time that I really appreciate. But when I'm going live, you don't see all the people coming. I get 5,000 friends. And the thing about it is that I realized the more and more, like I went through a testing phase, and it bothered me in the beginning. But you know what really healed me was somebody came to me and they spoke a word, but I would put so much positive stuff up. I kept on doing it. And in the midst of me doing it, I started losing friends. And it was to the point, and you know, with Facebook, you can't tell who's unfriending you. You can't tell until you go to tag them in something and be like, wait a minute, I know we were just friends. And you realize, why did this person, you did nothing to these people, but all you were doing was posting positive. And with Black people, we don't understand that the seeds that's been planted on the inside of us to be so divisive is because of the frequency that we generate when we're together. And so you think about how many Black people, when we put out about the Hero Empowerment Center, if even the arts people in the city of Memphis that are playwrights, that are actors, if they all chipped in for this Hero Empowerment Center that's designed by a Black man for the arts culture in the city of Memphis, how that would flip this whole nation upside down if we came together. We own the land, and we're literally giving it to the citizens of Memphis, and they're rejecting it because you can see the clear hate in their hearts because they do not understand the power of our frequency together. Wow. And that's what if you don't belong to a certain clique, if you're not an alpha, if you're not a Q dog, if you're not in the pastoral clique, if you're not a part of this Black church, it's a problem. And so you can have the cure to cancer, and Black people have been poisoned so much because of the power on the inside of us that because you got the cure to cancer and you Black and you not in my clique, I won't put you out on the forefront because you will be the one credited with having the cure. That's what's wrong with us, because we cannot get well because it is something on the inside of us that says we're going to hate the next Black person, even if they have the power to change the community, because it ain't me. And it's the spirits of envy, jealousy, and hatred. I'm leaving it alone.
Man, you saying some stuff, man. You just brought up so much stuff, dude. Look.
Me too. I just, baby.
My dad was my dad just turned 75 on the 22nd of this month.
Happy birthday.
So my mom threw him a surprise birthday party, so that turned out to be good last Saturday. Well, anyway, my dad, who is very family oriented, man, he was getting the family reunions together, basically getting everybody together. You know, we barbecue, we have a good time, we play cards, whatever. And he told me, he said, son, I just stopped, man. I'm like, what happened? He said, man, all the confusion. There were people in the something about same family. I'm not gonna name no names. I'm not even gonna name how close they were to him. But some folks was mad, and it all boiled down to, I want to be over it. I want to have a say so. As a matter of fact, I don't want this person at the family reunion. I don't want them at the family reunion. My dad was like, man, okay, we got the same blood. We got the same sister. We got the same dad. We got the same mama. You come. That's how he is, and that's how it should be. But there were people in the same family I mad because they weren't over it. You could have been over it. It's stuff like that, man, that gets me, man. Listen, Liddell, Nikki. I understand the system somewhat. I know the jail system is the new slave system. I know that I understand that. But what I'm saying is we're not being physically hit over our backs no more, man. Like, we don't have to go and pick cotton like that no more. And we're still choosing to hate each other, man. And that is my thing. Now, I'm not trying to speak on all negativity tonight, but man, we got to address it, man. Like, do y'all understand how powerful we are when we band together? Listen, when I was doing Clint Speaks by myself, I felt like I held it down, Liddell. But man, it's so much easier when you got a team, man. When it ain't, and it was never all about me, but I'm just saying, what is so hard about that? What is, Nikki, what's so hard about it, man?
Let me chime in. It's called programmable ability. Yeah. From my experience and what I hate, I became very, 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 and this is personal and transparent, because I don't post my personal emotions on social media often. I became extremely frustrated with my circle, not my personal circle, but with Memphis, period.
Mhm.
On multiple accounts for different reasons. And I posted a whole, now I wouldn't call it a rant, but I had to let it be known. I had to set boundaries on Facebook with my dance events. I've had people to come up to me, Nikki, I'm just waiting on you to put your event on sale so I can buy a ticket because I want to go, but I'm gonna wait till it go on sale. My event is $25.
Wow.
I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I have to drive to Memphis to get to you to do it. I've been offered the same opportunity in Atlanta as I did in Memphis, but guess what? I wanted to have it there first because Memphis is home. I was born and raised there. My people are there. I have supporters here too. And it's people who I saw on Facebook and I screenshot it, and it was some women, some white women. They had a whole conversation about taking a road trip to Memphis to come and dance with me.
Wow.
We gotta go see Nikki. And I was like, oh my gosh. But it be your own that do stuff like that. I have much more. Don't get me wrong, I have support in Memphis. I have people who follow me, who genuinely love me. But I also have those who are looking just for a curve. Like, you gotta understand, it ain't $10, but it's something that happens once a month, and it's for a good cause. It's to bring positivity. It's to bring light. I mean, dang, I gotta get gas to get there. I gotta get gas to get back. It's wear and tear on my car. I choreograph 99% of everything that I do. I think I got two dances out of dozens that I didn't choreograph. So people don't realize what all we put into stuff, which takes me to my next point. Liddell is on live. Liddell does everything he can to bring the community together. And people fuss about paying this amount. People fuss about paying that amount. But what I sent you today, Clint, matter of fact, let's look.
Oh my God, please tell them.
Let's look at this. Because I got a problem. The cheapest Beyonce ticket, $1,726. These tickets go up to $18,436. And you want to ask me why my event is $25?
$25.
Now, granted, I never said I was Beyonce, so please don't come to me like that because I never want to be a ticket. However, when we try to bring positive stuff, when we try to come to our community to help the community, to help build the community, there's an issue with cost. I just ain't got that. Do you know Beyonce tickets got Afterpay and Klarna options?
Wow.
Like, you can real deal pay like $30 a month for pretty much the rest of your life to go to her. Wow. Yeah. Now, am I knocking Beyonce? No, I'm not knocking Beyonce. But the fact is, when you get to our own, the community of our own, yes, we have supporters. Yes, I have supporters. Yes, I have people who supported me and who will forever support me. And I'm so grateful. But I have those few. Listen, when my event was $25, I had people buying tickets. I had a sale and it was $15. My phone was buzzing all day long. And I'm not knocking you because that's what sales are for. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind you spending $15 for it, but to me, to come to me and say, hey, Nikki, I'm gonna wait until you do another sale for your event so I can pay for it. Wow. But we put Beyonce tickets out here for $18,000 and you putting your car up or your house up so that you can go to this concert and listen to Drunken Love. I'm just saying, like, what's the problem with us as a people with our inner circle? But I can have people, and I hate putting race. I hate putting race on it because yes, this is Black History Month, but I promise you I love everybody. But I can have white people having full-blown conversations about how they're taking a road trip just to come and see Nikki. I don't know these women. I don't know these people.
Nikki,
so
wow.
It's just crazy to me how people can be. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can drive all the way to the casino and get a plate of crab legs for $30 a plate. But then you come to a person who's trying to do everything they can to bring positivity to a community that is clearly dying. And you want to talk about money, but you got money to do everything else. You go up any other time on Facebook, we see you.
Man, wow. That's you know what, Liddell, I think it was last year. I was I'll take a break, man, just to get away from the laptop. My job is considered sales. I interview people, man. I offer positions. I did make the decision not to offer. Um, but I get away from it, man. Sometimes I'll just go to Kroger, man, and walk just to get away. Then I come back. Sometimes I come up front just to talk to De'Ara, come back. One day, man, no lie, me and De'Ara was sitting up front, man. And I think I was just breaking away from the job for a second. And I scrolled, opened up Facebook. I think you was either the first thing on that little day or you was live, or I saw you had invited me to a live to watch it live. I looked on the live, man. I think I saw 2 people on it.
Yep.
I showed De'Ara. Wasn't nothing funny. And I'm saying, you know what? This ain't the first time I seen this. Liddell, I got a little tick, man. I'm like, the dude ain't coming on live just to be talking.
Right.
He ain't coming on there just to say, hey, how y'all day going? And I'm gonna log off, or hey, I got my favorite toy for Christmas. I'm gone. No, Liddell is talking with a purpose. And it's always positive. Like Nikki said, it's positive. 2 people. Like right now, I'm watching. I mean, it may be more because you like De'Ara said, you have to. My wife was like, hey, Clint, sometimes what you see, like I'm looking at the screen right now, it's showing 5 people watching, but somebody may be watching that may not have clicked on the live, and it's not counting those numbers, but still and yet, man, I saw one time on Instagram, Moneybag Yo, nothing against the dude. I follow him for a reason because I love, if you're not doing anything illegal, I love to see when people go out and just put their talents out there and get paid doing it. Now, I'm not saying I support nothing he says. I just like to see people successful, man. Man, that dude went live, and I'm talking about as soon as he went live, it's like 400, 1,200, 3,000. Like, God. But Liddell is talking about building up the community. 2 people.
They don't want to hear that.
It's like y'all don't understand, man. Like some of the same people that have bashed me back in the day because of my spiritual beliefs, the same people, man, that will come against you when you're trying to build stuff up. And it's like, dude, y'all don't understand. Back in the same slave days, you keep saying that my Bible condones. Back in that day when we were getting beat and we were getting raped, I'm talking about just without a system, because now they are locking some people up for messing with us. Man, back in that day, man, people were literally trying to band together. They had to plant a seed of hate within us, man, a spirit of division to get us to not band together. Nowadays, it's like we doing it.
Wow.
Let me ask y'all a question, man. I wish Afro was on here. I got to ask y'all a question. If we were to have a Black History, if my children, your youngest child, Nikki, my youngest child, they were to look back on Black history as far as our generation, who would they have to look up to? What would Black history and the ones that's coming behind my son?
Man,
we got Martin Luther King to look back to. You know, he got assassinated. Was it 68? Was it 68? I believe he got assassinated. I was born in 75, so that wasn't long before I hit there. We got people like that to look back to. I was a Muhammad Ali fanatic. Just love Muhammad. Who do they have right now?
No shade. They're gonna say Young Dolph gave turkeys to the people in Memphis. They're gonna say, and I'm not knocking these people, so don't take it their way. And if you do, I can't control how you take stuff. Because I'm not knocking them personally. No. But just the people who do certain things. But when you see certain, okay, my thing is this: when you rap or talk or sing about certain things, killing, stealing, this is my HOE, this is my BITCH, you know, or yeah, I'm gonna shoot up this NIGGA neighborhood and all this other stuff, and then you know, do one good thing. Y'all want to latch on to that one good, oh, that's who I'm just gonna follow forever and ever and ever. And then you get kind of slumped in, because when you think about it, I'm kind of going off subject here, but this is how God lead me. when you think about Adam and Eve in the garden, the serpent didn't come to them giving them all lies. The serpent came to them giving them some truth with some lies, and that's how they got sucked in to being on the wrong path. And so what happens is a lot of people, they, these people that people are looking up to, they come, they have a lot of negativity, but then they come with a little truth. They come with a little, thank God for this record, Murder One Records. I appreciate you. And oh, they follow God. Let me jump on their bandwagon, but then they start feeding all this other stuff in you, and here you go veering off on the wrong path. Same concept. It's just repetitive. The enemy has no new tricks, just new faces. It's the same concept. So our children and our children's children gonna have to look up to? I don't know. That's why I'm setting a good example for my own.
Man,
for my own house.
You're right. So anybody that's watching, it's like Nikki said, man, we're not bashing anybody. We're not personally targeting anybody. Well, Clint, it sounds like y'all not together. Listen. What we're trying to tell y'all is how powerful we are. If you're not hearing anything, hear this along with what Nikki said and Liddell has said. Do y'all understand what we've been through and we still here?
Right.
We've been through lynchings, still here. We've been through rape, still here. Mm-hmm. We've been through molestation and families being taken from us. Can you imagine being a mother, especially your first child, and you behold that child, and as soon as that child is born, that child is snatched out of your arms and being sold off to a whole nother plantation, probably in a whole nother state. Even if it was next door, you can't go see them.
Right.
That's your child. We survived that. Can you imagine being a man out in the field and you're picking cotton and you working or you building and you out there in the heat and you out there in the rain, and massa or the overseer that he put over y'all, he get horny and he just looks and say, get that Negro's wife right there. Mm-hmm. He come and get your wife, take her out and if he low down, he might do it in front of you. And then he send her back. May have tore her clothes up and and he just, we've been through that and we made it through that. Can you imagine some of our forefathers was literally shot? They were shot. And sometimes the white man back then was so smart and so crafty. He's okay. Liddell said, let me in. Was so smart and so crafty. So they knew where to shoot. They knew how to hit you and keep you living. Just a lesson.
Yeah.
Now your forefather we made it through that. Can you imagine how they took you and bent you over in front of your family and had sex with you? Can you imagine your dad and your granddad being bent over in front of you till master pleased? And who made it through that?
Yeah.
And then we get to this point and we go against each other.
Now we're going backwards, completely backwards. Did you read Corey's message?
Okay, he said, no, you're right, Nikki. Our people follows our art. Slaves sang songs of freedom and we fought for it. During civil rights, we sung songs of freedom and we fought for that. In the 70s, we sang love songs and that's when we loved. Then music changed to drugs, guns, death, hoes, and looking at what we become. Wow.
Powerful.
Look at what we become.
And I try to, Liddell talks about that a lot too. I talk about that a lot. We have to be so careful what we feed ourselves. And I've said this before. I've been, I don't like to use the word a victim, but I've been guilty. I'm just going to say that. I've been guilty for falling for the beat of a song more so than the words of the song.
Me too.
But now it's like, I've listened to a song that it wasn't anything wrong with it, and God pulled my spirit so bad and told me not to listen to that particular song. We don't know the spirits behind these people. Even not all gospel songs are anointed. Usually for money. You know what I'm saying? Like I've listened to a gospel song and was pulled drastically in my spirit. Like, don't listen to that. And what we have to realize is what we constantly feed our soul, That's what's in us. That's what's in us. Clinton knocked himself out. That's what's
Oh
in
no,
us.
no, no. I'm here. I'm here. I'm doing that on purpose because I'm just gonna go off for a second. Y'all keep it going. I'm here.
But yeah, that's what's in us. So we get to the point to where we listen to all this, whoop that trick and da da da.
Yeah.
I look at women when we ride in the car with these men. Okay. If my man turns on music and it's saying I beat that beat, yeah, I smashed this Asian, for one, by me jumping up and down doing this with him, I need to shut up if he go upside my head. I need to shut up because I'm celebrating him beating women with him. But people always say, no, it's just the music. It's just the music. I wish I would, especially just say if I wasn't married and I went out on a date. And then you playing a song in the car with me. Yeah, that be this and that be that. I promise to God you won't see me again.
You know what, Nikki? You just said something, and it's really, hopefully don't get me in trouble when I say this, because you and Clint be getting me in trouble. But I'm gonna say this. Y'all activate this stuff on the inside of me. But you know, look, and I'm like with Clint too. If y'all upset with us saying stuff and you talking about you offended, that's on you. But my thing is this, you think about a city that keeps coming up as something Bro Clint said, and y'all go back and look at the Clint Speaks podcast, and you're going to hear a lot of in-depth information. And Clint said something, and I'm listening to it, but we keep coming up in the top 5 most dangerous cities in America. And when you stop and think about it, it's like the Grizzlies theme song is Whoop That Trick.
Yeah.
I'm like, now Al Capone, I love Al Capone. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, how did the theme song become Whoop That Trick? And don't get us started with pulling up the lyrics, because if we pull up the lyrics and read you what the verse says, inside of that song, but the team comes out to whoop that trick, and so you have to stop and start thinking about some of these things. Even though you may agree or you may disagree, let's stop and think about where the blessings follow. When in the Bible, when there was an issue between Cain and Abel, and Cain killed Abel, the reason why he killed Abel is because the Bible says that Abel had a more excellent sacrifice. And so when he did it, he became hated on because he was being obedient to God according to what the sacrifice should be. And so Cain, his thing was up unto God, it brought shame. And so it was still a sacrifice being offered up. And you think about, if our praise has an aroma that goes up before God, what do some of these songs smell like coming up before God? I'm gonna leave that alone. And we getting around here, dancing and shaking and doing what does the aroma smell like coming up before God? And so my thing is, when we start thinking about the contents of our heart, and Bro Clint, I would love to do this at one point in time, but when I'm composing music, I was a Ray, one of our guys, and music has a frequency. And I learned this because something that Ray said that was so powerful. He called me Christmas keys. And I'm like, Ray, you call me sweet, but he called me Christmas keys, because when I'm playing, I particularly play in F minor, E flat. But what it is about those chords, when they're being sounded, it's worship music, but and people don't realize I put worship chords inside of every song, even the song that Nikki, you and I have. It's the reason why it sounds light like that, because I'm playing an F, E flat. But when you start listening to a lot of the material, when people are putting together beats, syncopation, those hi-hats, the boom, the drum, the sub, putting all of this stuff in there, and they playing in a certain key, all of those things, even plants respond to music. You think about, if you go in somebody's house and see if they got any plants that are still alive, they listen to trap music all the time.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
Man, the plant probably weeping over like this.
It might not be the kind of plants you're talking about, but they got the plants in there.
The plants need some rooster boots. Hey, but look, I didn't know that, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so plants respond to music.
Yeah, plants respond to music, and it's a stimuli. It's crazy because it does us the same way. You think about whenever we're looking at a horror movie, it's like they put certain chords in there. Most of the time it's in C major. It's certain. I'm a musician, but at the same time, I understand frequencies of sound. And so when I'm looking at what keys certain songs are made, you guys just do some research and look at Google what keys certain songs are in. And when you have to do that, especially when you're in Pro Tools and and you're trying to sync the voices, especially if you're using auto tunes. You have to find the key of what that song is in. And every time those sexual songs, the sexual songs has a certain the sexual songs is in a certain key and a certain frequency every time in a certain beat, and you notice your ear start doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's certain songs that make it's like twerk music. I don't twerk, but it's twerk songs. It's a certain type of song.
I don't twerk you.
And then if you look at too, like when you'll see this at stage plays, you'll see this on movies when it's the real dramatic scene. That means it gets dark. You get that, and then here when you're having little Billy, I really love this. You ever watch Full House? It happens on every episode of Full House. When I told you couldn't go outside the other day, and you hear the music goes with the moment. It really does, because
that's crazy. Because even I was telling Liddell, when you go to the group, when we learned this in sales some years back, but even when you go to places like the mall, like Macy's, Kroger, the music in the background, they do that on purpose because it actually keeps you shopping. So it does have an effect. I'm sorry I cut you off, nigga. You were saying about Full House.
No, it's okay. That's what I was saying. Just the different types of music and what it's for. Because how do we know what's baby making music or not? Let me ask you this. This is for the married people. I'm gonna keep it like that. I've heard somebody say, TD Jakes put out the CD, for the married couple, for the bedroom, for the married couple. I've heard that CD. I've heard somebody say, you can make love to your husband off of gospel music. I said, I don't mean no harm, but you ain't breaking every chain in my bedroom. It's just certain music. So my question is, if Break Every Chain didn't have the lyrics, right? And Clint, you're trying to set the mood for the era, and you cut on the instrumental, how would you feel? And I mean, the music, you don't know what the lyrics are.
Right.
But at the same time, it's something about the music that sets the tone, which is
Excellent.
the spirit that's within the music, which is why it's so important to watch what we feed ourselves.
Excellent point. Y'all know what, man? Y'all on the subject of music on this Black History Month, man. Listen. There's I follow these group of young children, man. They're Africans and they dance. All they do is just dance. They just be dancing, man. And sometimes it's funny, but I just love the spirit of their music.
Mhm.
It's not graphical. It's pure music. It's them dancing and celebrating, just celebrating life. And I wondered, y'all, while y'all were talking, I was sitting here wondering, what would our ancestors think about the music we listen to now? Because when they had to talk with a system, they had to use a system to communicate because they weren't allowed to read or write. And when they were just those old Negro, and it's like, what would they think about now? When you hear the Whoop That Trick and you hear, you remind me of my Jeep. Like,
there you go.
You know what I'm saying? I can't get over that, Nikki. It's like, I just don't know. Females, man, I heard a female say, I was on this job. I'm not gonna say nothing because I don't know if she watching it or not. There was this one person that we know. It didn't matter how you looked. If you had money, now I'm not saying she did anything, but she just made a statement, man. I don't care. If he got money, we good. And it's like, you have a rapper that literally looked like he mixed. And I'm not talking about black or white, look like he half human, half bear. You don't mind that. You don't mind just long as he got money. And it's like, so you can tell a woman anything. You remind me of something. I just don't know what it is. Oh, you remind me of my Jeep. Like you okay with that? And you all in the bedroom butt naked, and this man telling you look like my dadgum Jeep that I done took out. Jeeps are made for mudding. I'm hitting all kind of rocks in the Jeep. I ain't washed the Jeep. The tires probably ain't got the same amount of pressure. So basically, your body look terrible. Like if I'm a female, I'm sitting there, hold up. I remind you of what? Like you a Jeep? All right, take me home. Take me home. You don't tell you something like my sound, like but it starts off. You look like something. I just can't figure out what it is. Right there, I'm like, take me home. Take me back home. I ain't studying this movie. I don't want to go to the movie with you. You're not gonna tell me I look like something. Man, let me walk up to De'Ara and just, y'all know De'Ara. Hey, people can get mad if they want to. De'Ara got them eyes that'll just make you. Now I'm saying, I just get dreamy looking at like, you remind me of something.
Oh my goodness.
And I got a Camaro, but I just skipped over the Camaro and told her she looked like my Jeep. But anyway,
Claire.
y'all, she back there laughing.
Claire, hold
I'm
on.
just saying, Nikki.
Wait,
Look at the dashboard in the Jeep. It's flat, Nikki.
Wait, I got a transparent moment. It's your fault. So if I ever have to go to counseling for my marriage, it's Clint's fault. I want to say that. So this past week, my husband did put on some real nice music for us. And I walked in the room and it was all set. And I heard, you remind me of something. I said, what? I never look at the song the same again.
Oh my
so I had to literally try to mentally focus on my moment because I felt insulted.
Nikki, not.
And it's your fault. It's your fault for giving me the whole perspective of what that song meant.
But nigga, you started though. You said them words though. You was telling the truth.
Yeah,
we be listening to that music.
Yes, and that's what happened. And I'm like, so I'm supposed to be all happy, and I'm just like, so what kind of Jeep? What year is it? I mean, what?
Oh my God, Liddell, the Jeep burned a lot of gas too, Liddell. Can't take the Jeep on the road.
Oh my goodness.
You just tear the Jeep up. You don't care nothing about the Jeep. But then I'm just saying, y'all listen to the words like Nikki said. Don't listen to the words. I know this Black History, but I care a part of it. I'm just saying, you remind me of something. I just don't know what it is. Then it pops up in his head. You remind me of something like my car. Something like it. Something like it. Now listen, y'all. Listen. We gonna get back on Black History Month. Cars be looking like humans too now. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I remember one time me and my friend was riding, and we heard something. Cars get smacked too. Well, man, what was that? Man, probably about 3 seconds later, we seen a car come down the street. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through the knock the car out. Then you got some cars ain't parted train. They be leaking all over the parking lot. Some of them be shooting at each other, man, backfiring. I'm telling you, cars are a lot like humans. Think about it, man. Back in the day, Liddell, when our mom and dad had them cars, man, if a car didn't want to crank up, man, I remember my auntie, I asked her, I said, what you pulling? She said, that's the choke. I bet the car act right then. It had a choke in the car. I'm just saying, y'all laughing, man, but these cars like humans out here, man. I'm telling you.
But you know what? The lyrics to them songs,
some of them have teeth missing, the grill be messed up. I'm just saying. Don't they look like humans? Okay, my bad.
The lyrics didn't just start with our generation though, because I'll take it back to you with I left home to be with my side piece. So the only difference is really the tone of it. Because back then, I shouldn't have known at 2 years old would stand up in it, man. Just saying. So I always get on the older people when they always try to talk about, yes, the music is raunchy. No, I don't stand for all of it. I don't stand for a whole lot of it. But y'all was just as raunchy.
Come on.
Y'all was standing in there for something. Never mind. That's one other.
But how we go from what Nikki talking about? How we go from the old Negro spiritual where they was, picking cotton with the utensil, and to What was
Yeah.
that Nikki? You had to remind me last time we talked about it. What was the name of that song where the woman was confronting the other woman about her man? Now, I don't know if you gonna come out of bad.
Barbara and Shirley. I
Oh,
think with Barbara and Shirley. You know that car you got?
yeah.
I bought that. You know that? Yeah, all that. Yeah, she was
Black
dumb.
History Month. It's Black History Month, y'all.
Yeah, prime, but it dumb as about. Yeah. It was Black History Month, but I think it all started back then. It's just now. So when Bob and Shirley and them had that conversation, they opened up the doors to so much. The woman to woman. There we go.
That's it. Yeah.
That opened up the doors to so many things because now I told you, me growing up, it was, dang, what's the song I said about? He's mine, he man, something. But it was always the side chick stuff. Now, being a side chick is a thing. Have y'all seen the Crystals commercials where the pretty girls get on there and they talk about what other side chick looks better than me?
Oh, wow.
Get on some, you look stupid. You got a crystal burger in your hand, baby. So now side chick is a thing. And so those doors, it just constantly opens the door for other things. And it gets worse and worse. And now these babies, they really think it's okay to have a side. I was listening to an Ashanti song. And she was like, I just want you in my life, even if it's not just me. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Why is that okay?
Wow.
But it's the music, and these people are listening to it, and they're thinking it's okay, and they bumping it with them and they dudes, and then when they get cheated on, they wonder what happened, why them. And I'm not saying it's just the music that causes people to cheat, because it's not, but it's the it's a lot in the music.
And you know what? I think we were massaged into it too, because when you think about it, I remember one time we had this conversation on one of the Clint Speaks deal, but you know the songs back then, you know they had the same blues songs. It has the same chord structure as the as the quartet songs. you think about the reason why people be having so much fun and chiming in, especially those songs are the same blues chords. I need to clean up what I messed up. Start. The same blues chords, you know, the same chords that are used in Johnny Taylor songs. I mean, and so you know, back then those same chord structures was really what you would hear in church. And so what was happening was that you know, when they were putting those lyrics inside of it, they were literally putting lyrics on top of chord progressions that were structured for gospel sounds. And so what makes it now such a travesty is that the chord structures now for R&B songs and the stuff that's going along with these that's the reason why it sounds so raunchy and it vexes your spirit, because they created music to actually match those lyrics that they were saying back then, but now they sonically from a frequency base put their spirit in the music and combine it with the lyrics. And that's the reason why now when you hear like, oh my God, what is going on? Because when we were listening to it back in the day, it was church chords with those sexual overtones on top of it as far as lyrics. And when you think about it, because when I was coming up, I had to take music appreciation. The music that David was playing, I guarantee you would be the same chords in worship music, because that is what that's what calmed Saul down when he was having his nightmares. And you think about it. That's what calmed him down. When God's approval ended up being on David's life, all of a sudden now David is being pursued by Saul to kill him, because now he's jealous of David, because David has been anointed as king to take his place. But now what happened? You used to call for him to play the harp to get rid of your nightmares in those chords. Now all of a sudden when God's approval is on him, it's a problem. And that's what we keep having and running into with the black generation and the black culture right now. We have a problem with each other because we see God's approval on certain people. I've seen people in our complexion, hey, they got much more stuff. Now watch this. I have made a plan of mine. It's God purposed it in my heart to start praying for other people outside of myself. And not only that, I start investing. Like if I cannot make, I take Chad, he was watching. If I remember one time, I just sent Chad, I couldn't make it to Chad's play, but I purchased a ticket, you know, and I've started to do that for a lot of people in the community, because what's happening is that as we're building this structure for the Hero Empowerment Center. We have a theater in there. Why? Because the complaints I keep getting, Miss Hill just tried to rent guest house. Now guest house, you got to pay at Graceland to do your plays. You get it doesn't hold any more than 400 and some people. Now they talking about $5,000. They want you to pay $5,000 plus they want a portion of your ticket sales. So if you're a Black person coming in there trying to do your plays, then they busting you over there. How are you going to recoup your tickets are going to have to be $55-$60 to be able to make some type of profit. And then Nikki, what you just said, and how the Black people don't want to pay that amount. If they know you, they want the discount. So how can you come up when your Black person always got a handout? And so that's the issue that we're facing, and it's because we will have God's approval on our lives, just like Cain and Abel. He will have offered up a more excellent sacrifice. And you think about it, we're not the favor that, and this is the thing I like about Clint Speaks Again, because we're given a platform to be able to share and talk. But the thing that I really get excited about is that when Noah was building the ark, wasn't nobody trying to get with him. They're like, this dude crazy. He crazy. Man. He ain't have no followers. Therefore, like, rain, and ain't gonna do it. I mean, this man crazy. He building this big old immaculate thing. And you seeing how he putting it together. It looks great, and people still couldn't get with it. And the Bible said, but when it started to rain, people start knocking, hey, Noah, let me in. And the sad part about it is, what I fear is, once we build this immaculate center and do everything that God is telling us to do for the people, it's going to be the same people running to us that wouldn't invest, that wouldn't help, saying, hey, and we're going to have to tell them we're booked up, and not saying and not acting funny, but we really will be booked up, because people that saw the vision and they understood it, now they invested. Now all of a sudden every Saturday is booked up, and you like, man, Beeman acting funny because he won't even let me in. No, I'm not. God locked the door and he got the key. And even if I wanted to open it up, it's booked up. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Wow. You know what, man? I y'all done said some powerful stuff, man. I really wish the Anfa could have shared this platform with us tonight, man, because I'm pretty sure she's been talked about. You know, Anfa has opened up her home when she first started doing and was doing. I wanted to hold it till she got it, but man, I'm telling y'all, man. I saw her one time. I saw her one time. She posted on Facebook. This was last year, and she spoke over her own self, man. She said one day Yams is going to be one of the top interviewers. I forgot how she put it, ever. And I was just drawn to that, man. It's like she's talking my language now. Faith is my language, man. Yeah. Man, I wish she was on here, Ladell. What you saying, man? It's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna get left out, man. You know, I hate that, because when you look at Black History, every time I even look at the background, I'm looking at the background, Ladell and Nikki, but I'm seeing Martin Luther King and all the people marching with him, and they just march, man, together, man. And now every time I look at Black History, you know, you want to think about the inventors. You want to think about the engineers, the pioneers. I even think about my mom and daddy, y'all. I mean, you look at the people that came before us that paved the way. But within that, I see togetherness. I see unity. I see a strong, powerful people. Nowadays, y'all, it is scary.
It is.
If we did a Black Current Month, who are we honoring? And I mean, including me. Who are we honoring? Like, who's out in the neighborhoods outside of Ladell? Who's out in the neighborhoods ministering and teaching and trying to get to the youth, trying to shelter them? You know, who's out there trying to shield them from gang violence, and you know, trying to literally save their lives? Who's out there with? I've heard about children here in Shelby County schools, y'all, and it just broke me. It just broke me emotionally, y'all, that don't even have toiletry.
Yeah.
That are homeless children here in the city, homeless. And I'm saying, who can they look to? Who's out here just really just going in for them? while we're at each other's throats because somebody that moved out. You know, you got people mad because folks move out the hood and do better.
Yep.
You mad about that?
Oh,
You
you
got people like Tyree Nichols getting beat to death, and you mad about somebody moving out of
Right.
Free, moving out of Raleigh, moving out of South. So what? Congratulate them. Ask them, can you come over there and visit on a barbecue or something? You know what I'm saying? Why be mad? Black History Month, man. And Nikki, who I don't know, man. Who they gonna look up? Who they gonna look up to? Who they gonna look back on and say, hey, man, we know a guy who did this, that, and the other. Because see, I can say I saw Muhammad Ali. You know, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's, you know, the people like that. But even like you say, Liddell, Jesse Jackson, what is he doing? I mean, no offense, but what can we say? Even if, especially when it's black on black crime, Black History Month doesn't even recognize Black Lives Matter. I mean, it's like it's there's been a disconnect. Is what I'm trying to say. There's a disconnect.
I believe honestly, and we talked about this on a podcast, and I stand strongly behind this. I don't care if I have to stand alone. Black people as a whole and I don't like saying we because I'm not a part of what goes on, but what goes wrong is, you know, when Black people try to stand together, they stand together, quote unquote, for a good cause and scream Black Lives Matter, but then do wrong things, but then try to put behind it that they're doing wrong things for a good cause. And you're still, excuse me, failing yourself. And I take that back to the whole situation that's going on with the guy who just killed, Tyree Nichols.
Tyree Nichols.
So the Black Lives Matter, people started screaming that, and then you get you a group of Black people that go raid Target and steal TVs. Can you explain to me how Black people are moving forward? So this man is killed. This man's family is mourning. You know, we're all wanting justice for this man, and you get mad, scream Black Lives Matter, join up together with a whole bunch of Black people. Now y'all standing together to go into Target, to raid Target and steal TVs. Are you really that illiterate? Are you really that ignorant? I use the word ignorant to explain lack of knowledge. Are you really that ignorant to think that Black people are going to move forward just because you scream Black Lives Matter?
Nikki, I you just made me think about something I wanted to hit on because I wanted to get the audience involved. I hate to ask this. We've been on for an hour and a half. I hate to ask this now or bring this up now. I wanted to wait, and we're gonna come back next week. I'm letting y'all know now. We coming back, same background. We gonna talk about the same thing next week.
Oh, it's Black History Month all month.
It's Black History Month. I got to get Alpha on here. If we got to link up tomorrow, and we got to work our way through these kinks with this software. The enemy ain't stopping nothing. We go get Alpha on here, y'all, and we coming back. But y'all, listen. Here's my problem. I remember for years, y'all, I didn't vote. Now, here's the reason why. First off, if I'm seeing two candidates that I'm thinking both of them together ain't worth two dead flies, why am I gonna go vote? Well, people say, hey, go vote anyway because our ancestors fought for that. I feel you on that. But my response to that, Nikki and Liddell, was I don't think our ancestors fought to vote just to be voting. I think they fought to vote because there were some candidates that they liked, but couldn't get in office because they weren't allowed to vote. But if there are two candidates that pretty much got the same agenda and it ain't serving me no purpose, what I'm voting for. Now, that's the way I was thinking. Another reason I was, I would combat people that combated me on voting was they came at me, Nikki and Liddell. So you ain't gonna vote? I mean, you mean to tell me our ancestors did all this for nothing? And at the same time, y'all go at each other's throat for nothing. But you want to go vote? Is that honoring the ancestors that came before us? We can't even get on one accord. But you want it when it's time to vote. Here we are now. We got to run and go vote for two people who ain't worth a hill of beans just because. But you don't even like me because we speaking positivity. Okay, you can't. You think they honor that? You think they honor your attitude towards me, another black man? Another reason I combat at them, y'all. And this is the last thing. I do vote now, but people used to come at me, Nikki, y'all, with, so you mean to tell us our ancestors went through all that and you ain't go vote? And I say, so you mean to tell me Jesus went through all that and you still saying? So, you know, I would come back at him like, okay, so you ain't gonna honor Jesus. You're not gonna honor who you say you follow spiritually, but so
I got a
I
lot to say.
but I got to get y'all.
Yeah.
On.
I got a
gotta
lot to
get
say
y'all
about
opinion.
that. Amos, I read where that supposedly had been a rumor, and his dad said that wasn't true. But then a lot of people are saying, Amos asked about, is it true that he was dating one of the ex black wives?
One of the ex officers' wives.
Officers' wives. I heard that the dad said that wasn't true, but then some people are like, man, you don't know your son, you don't know who he was dating. I don't know. I read them both, that it was true and it wasn't true. So I have no idea. Somebody even went as far as screenshotting the girl's picture, her Facebook picture, profile picture on Facebook, and showing everybody. So like she went and like put all of her stuff on lock. You can't see nothing. Wow. Yeah, I looked. I was sitting waiting on something. And I was like, let me go see. But Clint, to what you said, what I have to say about this, a lot of people will not agree with. People gonna come to me and be like, "Oh, God ain't tell you this, that, and the third." I don't care. I know my relationship with God, so I don't have to argue with that. A lot of people vote now just so that they can post on Facebook with this little sticker that says, "I voted today." That's cute. That's you. Let me tell you what happened with me. I went to, this was when Obama was running. And I was about to go and vote for Obama. And I went and I stood in line for hours on hours. And I got up to the front of the line and they wouldn't let me vote. They said, "Oh, you're at the wrong location." I said, "Really? How?" They wouldn't let me vote. When I thought about doing it again, God said, "Don't." He told me not to vote. So yeah, Obama won the election. It wasn't because of my vote. I did not vote. Although I tried to. God told me not to vote. The reason behind it, people can get up on a pulpit, people can get up on a stage and they can debate. They can say what they stand for. Only God knows the hearts of man. If I go and vote for a person who has an ill will and heart is not where it's supposed to be, that blood is also on my hands because I contributed to that person being over the country or over whomever doing whatever. So God pointed out a whole lot of stuff. Well, yeah, Obama opened up the door to homosexual marriages and this and that. And you can say what you want to say. I'm going to speak on what I want to speak on. I love everybody. I'm going to say that I love absolutely everybody. But as far as me standing for what I believe, I don't condone everything. I can love you and not condone everything. I can love a best friend of mine and not condone them cheating. It doesn't matter. I love you, but I don't have to condone everything that you do. With that being said, with homosexual sexual marriages and stuff, my God, my Holy Spirit says that that's not supposed to happen. Yeah. He opened up the door for that to happen. And God told me, had you voted for him, that blood would have been on your hands as well. Because you helped push that agenda without me even knowing. So a lot of people would disagree with me. And I'm gonna kind of speak on it just a second because I feel I didn't want to say this all.
Speak.
People try to shut people like me up when it comes to I posted something on Instagram about Jesus, about a boy being anointed, and I got straight attacked. Wow. Because I said something about God. I said something about the Holy Spirit. I got attacked. And I don't care. They say what they want to say. I don't care. And then I've been reading, don't push Jesus on me. Don't try to push Jesus on me. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna forever say that I love God. Any accomplishment I get, you're gonna always read where I'm gonna say it was all God. I will never take the credit of anything that goes on in my life. But for you to get mad and say, don't push your agenda on me. If you love Jesus, then keep it to yourself. Well, you love your rainbow flag and you don't keep it to yourself. You love Pride Month and all that, and you don't keep it to yourself, but you never see me saying, keep your mess to yourself. Don't talk about it. Because why? I love you. That don't mean I have to condone it, but who am I? Who the heck am I to judge you? You do what you want to do. That's between you and God. But if I would like to say, I love Jesus. I love God. This is how I feel. And if you can say, I love Gay Pride Month, I love blah, 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 you should be able to peacefully say what you want. That's between you and your relationship with God. You say whatever you want to say, and I still love you the same. But when I say whatever I want to say, you should still love me the same because I'm not pushing hate on you. So I say all that to say when I explain why I only vote when God lead me to vote, which He has not had me to vote in a long time. Don't come to me with telling me that I need to be quiet, that I, because people want to shut you up. People want to keep you quiet. People want you to be afraid to speak on that. God has not led me to vote because the hearts of man just ain't right. And I'm not putting my blood on anything that I'm not supposed to put it on, because only God knows the heart of man. You can have all the debates you want to.
I love it, Nick. I love you. I love your stance. I love even what Brother Amos is saying in the chat, loving everything that he's saying. Jesus answered and said unto them, get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Brother Amos preaching and got a book in the Bible named after him, the book of Amos. But you know what? I just wanted to say real quick, because I know the time is spent, but you know what? We got to be careful too when God is electing somebody and man is electing somebody.
Wow.
And so because I read, you got to think about the people. When the people's king that they chose, they wanted Saul, but God had a better situation in mind, which was David, and God sent Samuel to Jesse's house, David's father, and he went through there, and they had this horn, and it was like whoever comes up under this horn, and the oil comes out of it, then that's who the next king is in his house. And Samuel knew that God had sent him to Jesse's house to anoint the king, and so all of David's brothers went up under their horn, and no oil ran out. And then and he was like, wait a minute, we out of people in the house. He said, and he asked Jesse, he said, do you have another son? Because these people ain't it. It's something up. And then he said, yeah, we got it's one more son, but he a small, ruddy little fellow. He out there tending the sheep or whatever. He said, go get him. And when they got David, the person that was less likely, that didn't belong to the alphas or the
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Didn't belong to the people's group. This guy who was less likely, he came up under the horn, and the oil ran out on David. And the thing about it is, what was so powerful about it is that we keep electing the wrong people. We're in a situation now where you think about the shape of the city and what's going on. These people had to be Masons. They had to belong to. I might be getting in trouble right now, bro.
Man, you speak, man.
Masons, all these different people, these fraternities, all this stuff to get. And when you study a lot of the signs and stuff that these people are throwing up, the 6-point star and all this Satan, you're like, okay. And so we're putting these people that are getting badges from the devil in office to be over God's people. And that's literally not who God charged to be in those places. And that's the reason why you keep seeing stuff going down the tubes. How are we in a city that has more young people than Nashville, the capital of Tennessee, has? It has the Nashville has less youth in it than the city of Memphis, but they got water parks, they got all of this stuff. How is it that we have more youth than any other city in the state of Tennessee, but we don't have nothing for young people to do but sports that grown people making money off of? Wow. I'm just saying.
Wow.
So we have to think about who is it that God is calling to the forefront. As a matter of fact, a lot of the people that you see, those aren't the ones that the oil from the horn is running for, and we're electing the wrong people. So Nick, I'm with you on your stance, because I'm just saying.
Me too, man. Listen. I appreciate what the forefathers did for us, man. So when my thing is, I don't know why all three of us are on one accord with this. I don't know why it is that we allow people to have their mindset, but our mindset they want to control. You don't vote. You don't. There was a time where I didn't. I mean, I vote now, but still and yet, right now, I'm careful if I vote. Like, if I'm seeing two, again, they got the same agenda. I mean, let me say this, because me and De'Ara was talking today about admitting faults. I've admitted my faults more times, man, on this podcast, man. I'm telling you, I've been transparent to the point to where anybody that comes on here, they don't mind being transparent. You pick and choose what you're transparent about. But I said all that to say this. I know I haven't always done the right thing, but the thing is, y'all, when you look at who's in office right now, President Biden, how many black people got on Facebook, not just Facebook alone, and bashed and talked about, y'all need to get Trump out of there. Who y'all voting for? Who y'all vote? Y'all go vote. Now, this same dude that said, if you don't vote for me, you're not really black. Man, I know I ain't the only one, Liddell, nigga, but how many people have we heard regretted that? Literally. Say what you want about Trump. Right. Say what you want about that dude, but at least he was real. At least that dude said what he meant. He meant what he said. Yeah, he wasn't perfect, but it was some stuff, Nikki, that you spoke on, that when Trump was in office, and this is something that De'Ara's dad told me before he passed. I'm not a fan of Trump, but God told me that. This is what her dad said. God told me that while he's in office, a lot of this stuff that goes against me is not going to go on. When Trump got out of office, it was some stuff that hit the fan, y'all. It was some stuff that hit the fan. It was, man, Biden ain't did nothing he said he was going to do. Nothing. But we got bashed for that. It went along with the vaccine. People who got vaccinated bash people. It's like,
I got for that.
Oh my God, man. But y'all listen, y'all. I know we've been on here almost 2 hours, so we go on and jump off. But listen, next week, I got to read Corey's statement too. Next week, we gonna have Afro on here with us. And I do want to talk about that voting thing. I just want to know what the people got to say. I want y'all, hey, chime in like you've been doing. But Corey said, what did Corey say? He said, great conversation. I have to jump, but I appreciate what you all are doing. And it seems like everyone is not supporting or your voice isn't heard. Not all slaves revolted, not all fought for their freedom. Wow. But it was a few people that sparked a moment that got freedom for everyone. Not all murdered, not all marched during the civil rights movement. And I know they were concerned when some stayed home, and small crowds, however, the few saved everyone. Clinton, Nikki, and Liddell been encouraged because it only takes a few for a movement. So even though our generation seems lost, just as slaves felt lost and black people felt lost during Jim Crow, the few brave people saved them all. Just like you few people are making changes too. Man, come on.
Wow.
Man, come on, man. So when all of us have said, man, I hope I don't get in trouble, man, evidently what we're saying needs to be said. Listen, ain't nobody against black people. We ain't against the gay people themselves. We love everybody. As a matter of fact, I was thinking today, y'all listen, I tell everybody I love my jacuzzi tub now. I be in the jacuzzi with all my thoughts. That's where I get my thoughts from, man. For some reason, the bathroom. But yeah, that's why I get all my revelations from. But anyway, man, I was sitting back in the tub, man, letting the jacuzzi just hit me, man. I'm just sitting back. And I thought about how some Christians really do hate people.
Wow.
If you are a true Christian, so let me sum it up just for a moment before I leave it to them. I'm gonna let them close out. If you are a true Christian, don't you know Jesus himself loved everybody? They called him the sinner's friend. Who are we to sit up and judge people and just say we don't like you because you like same-sex marriage? We don't like you. We may not agree with everything you do, just like you might not agree with what we're doing. But like Nikki said, you can't love me. You can't love me because I have a different stance on something. I may not roll with this. You still can't love me back. This is the problem we're having. This is Black History Month. Liddell, again, man, you had me laughing, man. You had me and Nikki laughing on some stuff you said. That comedian that said that this is the shortest month. They gave us the shortest month of the year and one of the coldest months of the year. We done had ice storms in Black History Month.
Already.
Can we at least band together for these 30 days? These 28 days. These 28 days, you know, I done gave us 2 extra. Can we at least band together on that? We ain't talking hate. We really want want to band together because, again, my whole point is saying what I was saying earlier, Nikki and Liddell. Who are my children going to look back on and say, they the one that led a movement. They're the ones that talked about peace. They're the ones that showed. Ain't hard on nobody out here. I will say this before I go. Some might not agree with this, but the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, I may not agree with everything. Good night, Amos. I may not agree with everything he says, but his standard, now I ain't talking about spiritually, I'm talking about natural perspective. Together with blackness, I stand for that, man.
Yeah.
I stand for that. If he's telling the black women, cover yourselves up, you ain't got to let everything be shown. If he's telling the man up and be a man, if that dude believed that the door to my house is his God, that's him, between him and that door. But if he's telling the truth, I listen to that.
Oh, yeah.
Because we do need to stand up and be men in our community. We do need to be women. The women need to stand up and be women. You are not a bitch, and quit being a bad one. Quit being a bad one. Just quit. Don't be a bad female dog. If you're gonna be a female dog, don't be a bad one. And friends I can't see Nick and best friend condoning that with each other. You're not going to walk up in my house and call my wife that. I don't care if you're a sister, brother, cousin. You're not going to walk in my house and call my wife that. And you ain't going to call her that in my presence. She's not a bad bitch. Like, the ever bad, she's bad now. Some of that rooster booster. But anyway, I'm going to let y'all close that thing out.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all need to go get off here because we got to do the podcast tonight. Boy, y'all taking my time, Nikki. Y'all need to hurry up, man. He did Dr. Champion website up. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm done.
Oh my God.
I'm done, y'all.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna pray. Never mind. Okay, go ahead, Dale.
I'm done.
It's black love, Liddell. It's just black love.
God bless y'all. I'm done.
Okay, what I was saying.
That Rooster a little light skinned, but it's all black love. I'm getting on that fence. I'm waking up early.
I'm done. I'm done. Good night, Brother Amos. Good night.
Anyway, y'all, listen. This is Nikki, Dance Angel, Liddell Beeman, and Clint with Clint Speech, y'all. We out, y'all.
Good night.